Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Enfield Town Council this November 13th at 6 o'clock. The first item on the agenda is the presentation of colors by the Enfield Police Department, followed by a prayer by the Reverend Michael Cicero of Crossroads Ministries in Chicopee, Massachusetts. I would ask everyone to please stand and to remain standing after the prayer, please. And now, if Reverend Michael Cicero could please come up for the prayer.
Father, we thank you for your grace upon these men and women here tonight. We pray that you would give them wisdom and understanding. Help them as they lead the affairs of this town. Bless them and their families. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And now I'd like to introduce the Enfield Police Explorers, who will lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance.
If we could have all the children come forward too, they could start with us. If they'd like to come and start the Pledge of Allegiance, Anthony, Katie.
I don't know, where are they? Are they in the hallway? Ready? Would you open the door? Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may all be seated. These explorers are... Cutie. The next item on the agenda tonight is the oath of office for Enfield's town constables-elect. If all of the town constables who are here tonight could please come forward to the front of the dais. Good evening. If you could all please raise your right hands. Do you, Maria Diana, Dean Gauss, Walter Cozell, Robert LeMay, Joseph Muller, and Zach Zanoni solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as constables for the town of Enfield to the best of your abilities, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, all of you. And now, if the newly elected town council members could all please rise. And if you could please raise your right hands. Do you, Gina Sakala, Robert Corsati, Doug Finger, Bob Hendrickson, Michael Ludwig, Cynthia Mangini, Jim Nasuda, Ken Nelson, Marie Pisner, John Santinella, and Lori Ungeyer, solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, as well as the Charter and ordinances of the Town of Enfield, and faithfully discharge according to law your duties as members of the Enfield Town Council to the best of your ability, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury? I do. Congratulations to all of you. The next order of business tonight is the appointment of a mayor. The floor is now open for nomination. Do I have a nomination?
I would like to nominate Ken Nelson for mayor. Ken has served Enfield as a town councilor from 2005 to 2013, serving his last 3 years as deputy mayor under our mayor then, Scott Copen. He thought he was going to retire, but when Councilor Bosco's seat became vacant, we knew it would take someone special to fill Joey's seat. So we asked Ken. With the support and encouragement of the residents in Enfield and of our RTC, we finally convinced him, and he accepted. On September 21st, 2022, Ken was unanimously voted as District 1 councilor by both parties. Ken has shown true leadership, working across party lines, always putting Enfield first. As chairman of the P&Z, he put politics aside and he worked in bipartisan fashion to serve Enfield and move it forward. He has proven his dedication over and over again to Enfield for the past 18 years. It is for those reasons it is my honor and privilege to nominate Ken Nelson as Enfield's mayor.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
I will second the nomination for Ken Nelson as mayor. I'm going to be short and sweet. I think based on Ken's experience as a former, as mentioned, chairman of the Planning and Zoning and deputy mayor back in the mid-2000s, you need experience to do this job. There's a lot of things we need to accomplish with Ken's experience, his hard work, and hopefully with 11 other councilors who are willing to put the work in, working together for the betterment of Enfield. I feel he will do a fantastic job. A lot of work needs to be done, and I'm very confident Ken will be able to do the work. So it's my privileged honor to second his nomination as mayor. Thank you.
Are there any further nominations tonight?
Move the nomination be closed.
One moved. Who moved that? I'm sorry.
Second.
Ludwig, okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor by a show of hands? Okay, 11 in favor, none against. Now we'll conduct a roll call vote, for Ken Nelson as mayor. Gina Sakala. 4. Robert Crisati.
4.
Doug Finger.
4.
Bob Hendrickson.
4.
Michael Ludwig.
4.
Cindy Mangini.
Ken Nelson.
Jim Nasuda.
4.
Ken Nelson.
4.
Marie Pisner.
4.
John Santinella.
4.
And Lori Ungeier.
4.
That's 11 members in favor, none against. Congratulations, and I will turn.
First, I'd like to say and thank all the voters of Enfield, because if it weren't for you, none of us would be here. We heard your message loud and clear, and we will take action to address the issues that we faced. Second, I would like to thank Representative Carol Hall, because she kind of made the phone call to push me back into it, because I swore I'd never sit back up here. I was done. I had enough. And who knew? Here I am. Mary Ann Turner. If it wasn't for Mary Ann reaching out to me in 2005, just a regular citizen, and asking me to be on the council, I thought it was a joke. And I said a few words that were inappropriate, I can't repeat. And then she said, excuse me, and then I realized this was no joke. They interviewed me, they asked me who the mayor was. I had no idea. I'm not a politician. And here I am, now the mayor of Enfield, just shocked. Kelly Hemler took over the ERTC last year, and her and Donna Dubanowski, Jason Jones, they did a phenomenal job to get us here to take the majority back. I'd like to especially thank former Mayor Mike Ludwig, who was also considered to be mayor but stepped aside due to personal reasons. Under Mayor Mike's leadership, our town went through one of the worst pandemics any of us have ever seen, and he led our town safely. Despite obstacles thrown at him left and right, I appreciate his wealth of knowledge and insight and respect his service to our town immensely. Thank you very much, Mike. I'm honored to have Mike sitting next to me because I'm going to need him over the next 2 years. I'd also like to thank Mayor Crissati. Under your leadership, Bob, I think we created more than political allies. I think we created a friendship, and I respect you and the fellow Democrats very much, and I look forward to working with all of you again over the next 2 years. I appreciate the support. I'd also like to personally thank former Mayor Scott Copen, who I served with for 8 years, 6 years as his deputy mayor. You are the true definition of a gentleman and a leader. Thank you for believing in me when I knew absolutely nothing about politics. Your continued support to this day, and hopefully for days to come. Hopefully I don't let you down. Thank you to all of you who are here in attendance tonight, our friends, family, residents, and town employees. I see the chief here, the deputy chief. I saw Chris, the superintendent, came in. I'm not sure where he is. There he is there. I appreciate it very much, and I'll do everything I can do. And I'm sure this council will, not to let you down, along with the residents. But most of all, I would like to thank my family for supporting me and allowing me the time needed to do this job, especially since I retired 10 years ago and this was not on our radar. And it's still kind of somewhat of a shock. Joe Marie, I couldn't do it without you. My son Kenny's here, my daughter Morgan, Adriana, Allison couldn't make it tonight, but I believe Tony is here with us also, looking down. I'd like to take a quick moment to recognize some very special friends here tonight. The Bosco family, thank you for your support and your friendship. I will continue to honor Joey every minute of this term. Other people, like I said, Tony, Joey, Charlie, the gentle giant, Donnie Alimo, I know they all had a huge part in getting me here today, and I can't thank them enough. And I had them double check the ballots. They did not vote. Okay. I am looking forward to working with our new and reappointed council members sitting up here tonight with me. We have a lot of work to jump into, so thank you all again for your support, and I thank you for the trust in me. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Appointment for deputy mayor.
All right, that's me. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to nominate somebody whose integrity cannot be challenged because this person is very strong-willed, born and raised in Enfield, has been very transparent, has the most votes that anybody got in this election. I'm very proud of her. And I promised I was going to keep this short and sweet because that's how she is too. Well, the sweet part we'll work on. We'll work on the sweet part. The short part's right, yeah. But Marie has had challenges put forward on her, and she proved to be the person that is sitting in the seat and will be deputy mayor, I hope. And it is my pleasure, my honor, to nominate Marie Pisner for deputy mayor.
Is there a second?
I'd like to second that, and I think Doug said it all.
Good.
Thank you.
Any other nominations? I'll entertain a motion to close nominations.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor of closing nominations? Roll call, please.
Counselor Sakala.
4.
Counselor Crisati.
4.
Counselor Finger.
4.
Counselor Hendrickson.
4.
Counselor Ludwig.
4.
Counselor Mangini.
Marie Pisner.
Counselor Nasuda.
4.
Mayor Nelson.
Marie Pisner.
Counselor Pisner.
4.
Counselor Santinella.
4.
And Counselor Ungary.
4.
11 in favor, none against, and no abstentions.
I'm going to sit. I am truly humbled to be chosen as deputy mayor. All I ever really wanted was to be on council. And these last 2 years, I have learned so much. But I have never, ever put what was aside, what was right for Enfield. It didn't matter to me. This is my town. This is where I live. And I want to make this the best town possible for all of us. This year we had 2 very, very close races, great candidates, and it just proved that every election is important and every vote counts. To each of the voters who came out, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You spoke loud and clear, and it is now up to us to make you proud for how you voted. My promise is to each and every one of you to continue to put Enfield always first, to be accessible and open-minded for every resident. There are so many people that I owe thanks to. I am a newcomer in the political world. In 2017, I tried for a seat on the council, and I wasn't even part of the RTC. I joined the RTC, I put my hat in the ring and ran District 4, and I lost by just about 100 votes to an incumbent. Everybody encouraged me to vote or to run again in 2019, and my head just wasn't in the game. It just wasn't the right time for me. We took majority again. We did a great 2 years, and this time there was an open seat at large in 2021, and so I ran and I took it. And it's been a tough 2 years, but you know what? I've learned so much being in the minority. And as my husband said, you're going to learn. And I did. I cannot thank everybody, Carol, John, Mike, Lori, Doug, Bob, everybody, Bob Crisati, John, Cindy, Gina, all of us had a part in teaching me what I'm bringing forward here now. So many in the RTC. I'm looking out there. Believe me, there's thank you cards that went out in the mail today to all of you. My family that's here, my husband, who is truly, truly my silent partner, my cheerleader. Anybody that knows him knows he married me so we would never have to talk again. But he is definitely my cheerleader, and he's always here behind me, and I can't sit here just like any of us. We can't be here without our family. It's impossible. My daughters, my grandchildren, my beautiful grandkids that came up to do the Pledge of Allegiance. This is what we're here for them, to make Enfield, to continue Enfield to be a great town. I have friends here today. I have a few of my dearest friends. My friend Bev, I see her out there. She's my longest friend I've had. My niece is out there, I think, too, Ariana. Thank you for coming, to all of you. I am so blessed to have the best friends in the whole wide world. Vito's waving. I just thank you. I thank each and every one of you, all the staff that came out tonight, everybody filling this room. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I promise I will do the very, very best job I can for this town and for its residents.
Okay, next, moving on to appointment of town manager effective immediately. Resolution appointing Christopher Bromson as town manager of the town of Enfield. Be it resolved that pursuant to Chapter 4, Section 1 of the Town Charter, the Enfield Town Council does hereby appoint Christopher Bromson as town manager for the town of Enfield, said appointment to take effect immediately. And be it further resolved, the Enfield Town Council does hereby authorize mayor to sign employment agreement with Christopher Bromson as town manager for the town of Enfield. Date prepared 11/9/23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any comments? Councilor Sakala.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to try to get through this. First, I want to thank Ellen Zaposasu for her service to the town for the last 2 years. She came in difficult circumstances and never skipped a beat. She did amazing things for this town in just the 2 short years that she was here. She was respected by the staff and respected by me. I'm not surprised the events that happened this past Thursday. Not at all, honestly. Most people aren't. She was told to resign. What was done to her was disgusting. The Republicans hated Ellen. They treated her like garbage for 2 years. They didn't care about how good of a job she did. They just cared about that letter after her name. She was a Democrat, and they hated her because she was a Democrat. And sadly, I don't really know that she was collateral damage. And I'm sorry. I appreciate you, Ellen, if you're watching, and I'm sorry for what happened to you. This brings me to Chris. Chris, you and I have talked. Nothing I say tonight is going to be a surprise. We have a long history. We go back 10 plus years. We have a good relationship. Didn't always see eye to eye, but we have respect for one another, and we have a friendship. I consider Chris my friend. That being said, when I got the news that you were coming back, I was less than happy, to say the least, and we had our words, and we talked about that. Chris, you were an asset to this town during your time here. During your tenure at the town, you wore many hats: public safety director, town attorney, and town manager. And you were good at your job, but you walked out on us. And that wound took a long time to heal. That being said, I'm going to focus on what is best for this town. I'm going to focus on having a town manager who can now come in and have experience and knowledge and the relationships with the staff and the people here in the town of Enfield. He's going to be able to hit the ground running, and this town won't suffer from months of nothing happening because we don't have a town manager. I know Chris is excited to come back. I know he missed our town, and I welcome you back, and I'm confident that you're going to do a good job.
Thank you. Councilman Santinella.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Why do we have a town manager to begin with? Because as much as we can knock on doors and ask for people's votes, none of the 11 of us have what it takes to actually get the job done and run the town. And I, too, had a great deal of respect for our previous town manager. And in spite of those differences, I think that she was a tremendous asset to the community. This year, when we did her review, for the first time, we asked the people who matter the most, the people who reported to her, to offer their comments on her work and the kind of job that she was doing. And I want to share with the community one of those, portion of one of those reviews. This was written by Chief Fox, who we all admire and respect. And I think that he says most things better than most of us can. Town Manager Ellen Zapusazu has been extremely worthwhile to work for and with. Presumably, like everyone else, I experienced some initial trepidation associated with having a new boss after the departure of Mr. Bromson, owing to the duration of his service and his historical support for and connection to the Enfield Police Department. Needless to say, this initial trepidation notwithstanding, I am extraordinarily pleased and grateful to have Mrs. Zapusazu at the helm of the town of Enfield, as well as in service as my direct supervisor. Since the outset of her employment, Ms. Zapusazu made her high expectations very clear to us. I was warned by my police contemporaries from the Bristol Police Department, but I am pleased that I am not now personally familiar with, that the failure to meet those standards would result in counseling, corrective action, and eventually more serious employment repercussions, as would be very warranted. But similarly, when those expectations were met, Ms. Zapusazu has demonstrated a tremendous appreciation for my efforts and my department. Chief Fox then goes on to list several instances where Ellen went on to support him through very difficult situations around town. He continues to say, Mrs. Zapusazu has been directly but appropriately involved in all of the concerns above and as well as many others. But yet she also has never missed a phone call, email, text from me, whether a matter is urgent or routine, typically responding within seconds. Similarly, however, when I tender an invitation to her to attend a police department event where I believe her presence would be worthwhile, including swearing in promotions and retirements or other special occasions, she has never missed one. As I reflect back on my law enforcement career that has spanned 40 years, I have had numerous supervisors. A few lacked a supervisory skill set, and as a result, I remember them well. Most had skill sets somewhere in the middle, and as a result, they have largely faded from my immediate recollection. A few were extraordinary leaders who demonstrated a grasp of management principles and of leadership attributes, and as a result, I also remember them well. Ms. Zapusazu falls distinctly in the final category. This assessment is shared and concurred by the balance of my department's administrative team. In summary, I believe the Enfield Police Department runs well when, at least in part, I run well. And I run well as a supervisor who can bring problems and concerns to where I can receive guidance and in an intelligent fashion. Additionally, I need that guidance and leadership doled out in a calm, reasonable style. I am very grateful to have had Mrs. Zapusazu at the town's helm and would urge that her evaluation reflect the positive influence that she has brought toward and upon the men and women of the Enfield Police Department. I had a chance to speak with Mr. Bromson before the meeting, someone who I have known of since I was a young kid. My father admired you, Mr. Bromson. And so you know that tonight I will be voting present for your appointment, not because I am a vengeful person or a spiteful person. I shared with you those reasons. And
I misunderstood. I thought you said you had a present for me.
I know that you can do the job, and I am very much looking forward to working with you. Very good. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Crissati.
All right, good evening, everyone. I guess I have three comments that I'm going to make. First of all, I want to thank the voters of Enfield for your support and continued support. It's been an honor over the last 2 years serving as your mayor. It's been a tough couple of years, but there is a lot of progress that has been made in this particular town. I want to wish success to Mayor Nelson and Deputy Mayor Pisner, and to all the elected officials that the voters voted for. And like I stated before, and I'll talk about, Chris in a couple of minutes, who I have the utmost respect for. But I have to say that 2 years ago, our town manager, Ellen Zapusasu, who came in and stepped into this role, really embraced this town to the extent where she really learned in a very short period of time about the history of Enfield. And I want to thank her for her efforts. And we all know that when leaderships change, positions change, and we understand that, and we can respect that. I want to thank her for her commitment to Enfield and moving projects along that many people didn't think could get done. There were a lot of accomplishments that happened here in town over the past 2 years, and there's a lot of development going on, and we will continue to work everyone for the best of Enfield. You're going to be missed by many. I know that I am personally going to miss her since, when we look back a couple of years ago in recruiting her to come here. She's going to be an asset wherever she lands, and I really appreciate everything that she did here in town. Now, the next thing that I want to say is, and I'm just going to give a quick shout out to my family. They give me the opportunity, they have given me the opportunity, and I have missed a lot of family events, and I'm involved in quite a bit of activities. I'm going to have much more time to spend with my family, who I love so dearly, my daughters and my son. Every day in my life is a challenge. And many of you don't know that, but it is. And being able to lead a town, still do the activities that I'm involved with, I'm very proud of everything that gets accomplished here. I have worked across party lines. When Councilor Nelson stepped in, we have worked together. We've developed a relationship so that we could talk and move forward. There's a lot of people out here that can criticize, but I'll tell you one thing. We have worked together and worked for the best of Enfield, and I'm very proud of that. I'd be sitting up here to say that I didn't have reservations to have Chris come back. I'd be lying to all of you. I wasn't surprised. But however, in my career, and I'm still teaching in my career, I've always believed in giving individuals chances. And that's one thing that I'm going to look forward to you, is that I know that you will make this commitment to the town of Enfield to do what is right for everybody moving forward. Things happen, and I get that. And I am really looking forward to our conversations to discuss the progress, one, that's been made over the past couple of years, and how we're going to move forward. I will be in your office just as much as Mr. Mayor Nelson now, and I keep saying Councilor, but Mayor Nelson to discuss things. I am going to be supporting and voting yes for your appointment. We have had a long past history. We have always worked well together, and I continue to do that. And everybody sitting here should know that he does have and does know a lot about this town, so that tomorrow, when the doors open, this town is in good hands, and we're going to be moving forward. So I am supporting this, and we will move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Cynthia, Councilman Mancini.
Thank you, Mayor Nelson. I too am disappointed in Ellen's departure. She was a great town manager. She picked up very quickly on our town. She served us well. Having said that, I've not only known Chris Bromson, I've known his father, the judge. So Chris and I go back, I'm not going to say how many years. I have the utmost respect for Attorney Bromson. He served our town well when he was here as both town attorney and town manager. I feel comfortable and confident that Mr. Bromson will move us forward and keep the best interests of the people of Enfield at heart. That's my belief. And while we're discussing heart, I'm looking forward to this new council to put aside many differences, many problems, and show respect to each other and to share your differences, but be respectful. That's what I'm looking forward to. So again, Chris, I'm going to vote for you. And I would like to see us as a team work together and stop the bickering, stop the nonsense, and let's get the work done. Thank you.
All right, I'm just going to make a quick comment because these people are going blah, 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 blah. We want to go home. There's snacks out there. All I can say is I assure you this is not a political move. If I'm correct, Chris Bromson is a lifelong Democrat, so I don't want to put years on that because that would age him. I will say the voters spoke. We listened. This was not politics. This was the voice of the silent majority. And we made a decision and we followed through with it. Thank you.
Councilman Ludwig.
I gotta be quick. We wish our former town manager well. Nothing personal. We wish her well. But I think the residents of this town have to get back to understanding what's in our charter. We are a council, town manager form of government. All 11 councilors have equal say, not just one individual. It's in our charter. That's how this town was formed. We need to get it back to understanding exactly how our government works. And that's, I think, one of the keys that went on in this election is that, again, we are a council manager form of government. And in my opinion, the manager should be nonpartisan. And that's how this works, in my opinion, very effectively. When you have 11 councilors with their different political opinions working with a nonpartisan manager and his or her staff, again, representing everybody. So I think we move forward. We wish the former town manager well, and we look forward to working with Mr. Bromson again. Welcome back.
Anyone else? Councilman Finger.
Thank you, Mayor. So I agree that Ellen did a pretty decent job here. I wish her well. But when you walked out on us, I hurt, and we've had this discussion because you and I have done a lot of things for the Public Works Department in this town, working together. You as a town manager, a public safety officer, and me as the president of the union for over 20 years. And I didn't know how to feel, and I still don't know how to feel. You know, I'm not happy about things. I'm just happy. I'm still concerned. You know, about you. I'll be voting yes, but I still have some doubts in my head. I just want to be honest with you. And, but, you know, listen, town of Enfield is more important than what goes on here. It goes out there, and it has to come back to us on anything and everything. But thank you very much, Mayor. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Councilman Ungary.
Chris, I just want to thank you for stepping up. We have worked several years together, and I look forward to continuing our work together. And our previous town manager, I wish her well and success in her future endeavors. And I just wanted to throw out a few thank yous.
We're going to do that at the end.
At the end? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll save it for later. Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Sikala.
4.
Counselor Crisati.
4.
Counselor Finger.
4.
Counselor Hendrickson.
4.
Counselor Ludwig.
4.
Counselor Mangini.
4.
Counselor Nusuda. Mayor Nelson.
Christopher Bromson.
Deputy Mayor Pisner.
4.
Counselor Santinella.
Present.
Counselor Ungary.
4.
That's 10 members for, none against, and 1 abstention.
Okay, Chris, would you like to come up and say a word? I know you didn't want to. Go ahead and take your oath of office. I've never known an attorney not to want to make comments, so.
Do you, Christopher W. Bronson, solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Connecticut, the Charter and ordinances of the Town of Enfield, and faithfully discharge according to law your duties as Town Manager of Enfield to the best of your ability, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is their night, but I don't want to be remiss.
Chris, you gotta be on the microphone or they won't be able to hear you.
They can hear me downtown.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, well, I just want to say that I'm honored by the support and the comments of the council. I will work with each and every one of you. You know, town government, it's a relay race. You pass the baton to the next and you move forward. I, too, have respect for Ellen. I thank her. Over the last 2 years, she would call, we would talk. I tried to assist when I could, and she's made that same overture to me, and I'll take advantage of it when we need to. I am honored to work again for the people of Enfield. I'm going to continue the relationships that I had with not only Chris Drezick and the Board of Education, all of our fire departments, our state representatives, Carol, Tom Arnone, our state senator, John. You know, you alluded to the ancient past. Very few remember that back in, I think, John, when was it, 93? 92. He remembers. I try to forget. He was a Republican. I was a Democrat. He won. I'm here now, and the rest is history. We worked together for the town. I want to thank everyone here because family, friends, neighbors, we have one thing in common here. We want what's best for the town of Enfield, and that's what I'm going to do to the best of my ability. Thank you so much.
Moving on. 10, appointment of interim town attorney effective at the conclusion of the current town attorney. On this particular item, we are not going to move tonight on it because I've had a conversation with Attorney Talberg and he has agreed to stay. Upon us having to post the agenda, we weren't sure what he was going to do, so we added that to it. At the end of his conclusion of his term, Attorney Tom Tyler has agreed to step in if there's a lapse between the current town attorney and the new town attorney, and I appreciate that very much, Tom, you stepping up to help us out. Moving on, resolution to set the meeting dates. Resolution regarding the town council regular meetings. Whereas the Town Charter, Chapter 3, Section 4 provides in pertinent part that at the first meeting of the council following the town election, the town council shall fix the time and place of its regular meetings, which shall not be less than once a month. Therefore, be it resolved that the first regular meeting of the 2023 through 25 council be held on Monday, November 20th, 2023, in the council chambers at 7 p.m. Be it further resolved that thereafter the council shall meet in the regular session on the first and third Monday of each month, accepting the month of November at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall Council Chambers, or at any other place as the council may designate. In the month of November, the council shall meet on the Monday immediately following Election Day, and the third Monday of the month, when Monday is a holiday. The regular meeting shall be held on the following day at the same hour unless otherwise provided for by motion. The day, time, and place of the meeting may be changed by the majority vote.
So moved.
Second.
Sorry, I had a question.
Go ahead, Councilman Ludwig.
So I don't mean to start the new one off with a question, but based on the schedule provided, based on the way the resolution is written, we should have a meeting in February on the 20th.
I'm sorry, I believe that would be for the town manager's office. I did not set the schedule.
You're already at work, Chris.
So based on it was written, we should be meeting on the 20th. Just so if we can make that change, friendly amendment, so be it. Sorry.
So noted.
So noted.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Councilor Sakala?
4.
Councilor Crisati?
4.
Councilor Finger?
4.
Councilor Hendrickson?
4.
Councilor Ludwig?
4.
Councilor Mangini?
4.
Councilor Nasuda?
4.
Mayor Nelson?
4.
Deputy Mayor Pisner?
4.
Councilor Santinella?
4.
And Councilor Ungary? That's 11 members for and none against.
Okay, next, appointment of committee, 3 members to review the policy and procedures for the town council meetings. Councilman Crisati, Councilman Pisner, and Councilman Ungary have agreed to do this. So,
moved.
Second.
all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Unanimous? Okay, and then last, now we're back to the swearing in. I'll just start at the end, and council members who would like to address their family and friends, any comments?
Sure. Obviously, I would like to thank my family. Many of they are not here because they came over Saturday and we celebrated our way. But they are watching, and I am very, very grateful to all of them for the support and the fact that for the past couple of years they have had a member of the family largely absent because I've dedicated so much time to doing this. But it is a joy and a pleasure to sit in this seat and to represent the people of a district that my grandparents lived in once, and a part of town that I heartfully call home. I want to thank all of the people who came out to vote, whether you voted for me or whether you voted for somebody else. It is the greatest gift that we have in this country, and I am pleased that people came out the way that they did. I am particularly grateful to the last 10 people that showed up at the polls because they made a very significant impact on my life. So I thank you, and I look forward to working with this new council to do what is right for this town. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Councilman Sakala.
Well, I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to have to, I guess. Thank you to all of my friends and family who have supported me, specifically my family who has had to deal with me doing this for going on my 6th term. You miss a lot of birthday parties, a lot of sporting events, a lot of family time. But you do it because you love this town, and I will continue to show up. Thank you to all of the fellow candidates who ran with me. I appreciate everybody who was on that slate and that ticket with me. I look forward to the next 2 years. I hope we do good things, and onward and upward.
Mayor Crissati. Councilman Crissati. It's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while.
And that's a respect issue.
All right. Well, thank you. Once again, I was remiss in stating that it was an absolute pleasure to be working with all of the municipal department heads over the past 2 years on a weekly basis, getting to meet so many great people who are have a lot of talent. So I know that I'm still here, I'm still around. I will still keep that relationship up with everybody. To everybody, once again, that came out and supported and voted, thank you to everyone. And once again, to my wife, Marilyn, who is the staple in our family. Thank you very much. Love you. And we will be able to spend a little more time together. So I'm really looking forward to that. But thank you to everybody. Thanks.
Thank you, Bob. Councilman Mangini.
Thank you. As the longest serving member of this council, don't you laugh at me, I have seen him come and I've seen him go. I've been in the majority, I've been in the minority, but I truly mean what I hope for, that we can work together as a team. And having said that, I do want to thank family, friends, and especially my little granddaughter, Carrie Pager. She's a trooper. She's 10 years old, and she has an addiction, and it's called The Town. But I think it's great when children get involved and show an interest, a genuine interest. And I'm hoping that all of our kids, grandchildren, children, grow to want to understand town government and want to do the right thing to serve the public. That would be my goal. So I'm looking forward to working with everyone, the town staff, Chris, and our, town attorney, and Steve, of course. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Pisner. Deputy Mayor Pisner.
I think I said everything before. I am truly humbled. I am looking forward to working with you, Chris. I want to know your secret. You look great. Is that what it was? Okay, you missed the town so much you stopped eating. That's what. Okay, there you go. But no, I think we have a great team sitting up here. I really do, and I think we're going to get a lot accomplished. Like Cindy, I just want to work together and move forward, and that came through loud and clear at the polls as well. It has to stop. So we're hoping that we just move forward. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to make this quick. I can just say this simply. I don't know who's more shocked, me or the many, many people sitting out there right now that have been part of my life up to this point and are just sitting there saying, this ain't happening. Ken Nelson made mayor? It's not possible. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Councilman Ludwig.
Again, I'll be brief. Can't do this without your wife and your daughters and I have the toughest 83-year-old man in town, and he keeps everything grounded. The fact that you have family, that means you're blessed. I've been blessed to do this as a former mayor. I know exactly the work needs to be done. I had the pleasure of being a mayor working with Chris Bromson and leading people through the pandemic. And just, again, no matter what your political beliefs are, freedom is something you don't give an inch on. Your freedom, the fact that you can sit here and debate and disagree with somebody, is one of the greatest gifts you can get from God, and do not give an inch to it. Thank you.
Councilman Hendrickson.
All right, being the new one up here, this will be quick. But I do have to thank my wife, Kathy. 2 years of campaigning has been quite a stress on the House. But she's stuck through it, and she's behind me 100%, and I need that. To my son, Rob, and my daughter, Samantha, anytime I needed anything, they took care of it. To my mother, who's out there today, who actually looked forward to standing out there on the polls for 8-10 hours, whatever, I don't know why, but she enjoyed it. I owe everything to her. That's why I'm here. And I am looking forward to working with everybody, and I will copy what Councilor Mangini said, animosity, and it should go away. The people have spoken. That's what they want, so let's get together and work this out. Thank you.
Councilman Ongire.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank the voters of Enfield. I do want to say that it's really a blessing to be here, and I really see this as a position of service to the community, to everyone. So I plan on working very hard for the town of Enfield. I'd like to thank my husband, John, my family, my children and grandkids, and my mom, who's here. She's going to be 90. She's in the audience. My brother, and Pastor Cicero for coming and doing that wonderful prayer. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Mary Ann Turner and Kelly Hemler, Donna Dubanowski, Jason Jones. They've all worked really hard to help me to get here. I also wanted to thank my forerunners in politics, and that would be Scott Copen, Bill Lee, and Carol Hall. I've admired all of you, and I've admired your strengths, and I thank you for that. Also, I want to thank Deb McCarthy for always being available to answer my endless questions, and she is just a real jewel of the town. I miss not seeing you all the time. So I want to thank everyone up here on this dais, and I look forward to getting back to work. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Finger.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank all those who helped out in my campaign this year. Stood in the rain and the cold and the breeze and up at the annex on election day. Jason and Donna and the new family that I've that acquired, the R's and Sandy and everybody else. You guys, because of you, I think is the reason why I won. I want to thank my wife, Kathy, not your Kathy, my Kathy, with a K, which is somewhere she's down there. She's a Roman down there somewhere. I love you. Thank you for being there and understanding. I wish you didn't go out and start pushing Despard patches out to people. That was really wrong. I'm only kidding, of course. But I want to thank a lot of people. But I do want to thank Matt Despard, because Matt in District 3, he did put his heart and soul into it. He did do a job. Him and I have talked since the election, and he's brought me up to date of things that he was trying to see or push or happening. And I think that was real nice of him. That was very respectful, and you know, Matt's a good kid. He really is. But I want to thank all the voters for coming out. The 988 that didn't vote for me, please don't call me every day. I will help you when I can. Of course, this is all part of a comedy show. But I thank you to those who did vote for me, and let's get Enfield on track, and of course everybody up here. We can do it. We can do it. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Nasuda.
Thank you, Mayor Nelson. Yeah, it's a tough one here, being in this seat. A lot of people pushed me to get up here, and I'm very happy to be sitting here, right here. So, I look forward to working with all of you in the next 2 years. I appreciate everything that you've helped me with to get here. I want to thank the voters and the people that pushed me and voted for me, supported me. I want to thank my family. My wife, my granddaughters were here. Apparently they had to go home and go to bed, but it was great seeing my son, my daughter-in-law, and my family supporting me as well. Once again, I look forward to working with you, Chris, and the rest of the town staff. And thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor? It's complete.
You're right.